don't know about sending a statement, Mitch. You know, the guys did a good job of finishing and doing a good job of winning the football game. You know, we're 1-0, and there's a lot of other teams in the West and in this league that's 1-0. So we just have to retool and get ready to come back for the next week. We have a new group of guys, and I'm pleased with the way they played.
That weather obviously had to be a factor. You guys always say football's football, but how much did that weather play?
We're in Saskatchewan. We get everything. So, I mean, our training camps look not you know, as much as that, but we've had the wind in training camp. We've had the rain in training camp. And, you know, when you look at it, it's funny because the last time these two teams played, the weather wasn't great then either. So it's just something that we're getting used to, that the weather shouldn't be a factor for us.
How did you feel about your new guys tonight?
You know, I felt pretty good about them. You know, there's still some things they have to learn, but I thought they played with great effort. They executed the things we asked them to execute. You know, I think once they get used to the game, they'll be a little bit better.
And your running back?
Anthony, he did a good job. He did a good job in carrying the ball. You know, I think he had, you know, one protection issue as far as losing the ball. But other than that, I thought he did a good job of running the ball. And, you know, it was that type of game to where we would see. So the elements played right to him. And, you know, either he was going to rise to the occasion or not. And he did.
How much of that was offensive line?
You know, we have a pretty good offensive line. But at the same time, you know, we still have to have a back that can run pretty good. And I thought he did some things. There's still some room for improvement, you know, in different cuts and different visions. Things that he needs to get better at, but I thought he did a good job.
Is there any way we see Keith Toston or Hugh Charles next week, or did Allen do enough to keep his starting spot for week 2?
You know, I think he did good enough to start. You know, I can't tell you that you may not, you know, you may see one of those guys, but we're on sort of like a short week, so I don't know how much we change the roster and how much we do things unless we have to, but there's always a chance for different guys to come on and ask to add different packages.
But the defensive guy, what see all season?
Say it again?
Is this the type of team we're going to see all season, aggressive on defense, the way the offense opportunities? I know it's one game, but it's a pretty dominant one.
Well, you know, that we had something like that last year, and we want to be a dominant team as we go forward. You know, I think at the end of the day, you know, we were aggressive on defense, and there are some areas where they allowed us to be aggressive at, and then there are some things where they kind of stopped us just a little bit there. But we want to win. That's the biggest thing. I think the guys have a mindset, not so much because they were Grey Cup champs last year, just because this is a new football team, and I think they're coming together nicely with the mindset of wanting to win.
As a defensive guy, how nice is it when you look at the stats and see 10 sacks?
I didn't even know it was 10 sacks, and somebody told me it was 10 sacks. You know, it's good. It's good to, you know, give those guys confidence in going forward and to be able to get after the quarterback, you know, and that's the biggest thing. It starts up front. You know, we're not going to be able to do that every week, but, you know, that gives us a standard that we've set for ourselves, and we have to at least try to meet it every week.
Us media were calling this a Grey Cup rematch all week. Did it feel like a Grey Cup rematch when you got out there and stood on the sideline?
I didn't get a ring for this one. If I had got a ring for it, it felt like a rematch. It didn't, you know. And I tell you, one of the things that made it not that is because, you know, when I saw Zach come out, it wasn't Henry, and also Butler was on the other side, you know, so it didn't feel like that. There were some guys you could tell that they still had that animosity from that game, you know, especially on the other side, but it really didn't feel like a rematch because they're revamped and we are too. You know, Darian managed the game pretty well. You know, this is not a game that's built for quarterbacks, you know, as far as throwing the ball. So neither quarterback threw the ball much or, you know, completed or had big games in that. But I thought he managed the ball well. You know, he was a good leader on and off the field, so he did a good job.
What was your message to the team right before you guys went off the field?
Well, the message right before the team is, you know, let's continue to do the things we do well fundamentally. And let's just make sure that we understand that where we are now, it's going to be a lot of teams after us, a lot of teams, you know, trying to come because of what we did last year. But this is a brand new season. We got to reach a higher goal.
Corey, there's so much talk about your quarterback being what he is, your offensive line being what it is. Is your secondary undervalued somewhat? Because I think a lot of people think they're the best in the CFL as well, and there's a lot of people that just maybe don't realize how good they are yet.
I think those guys, before it's all over, I think they'll be pretty good. You know, there's some ups and downs in there, but they are in the top tier of secondaries in this league. I'm not saying they're the best yet, but there some games and some quarters and some plays they can be the best, but they need to be consistent on each and every play and be dominant in their techniques and going after the ball.
Any injuries you can tell us about?
Not enough to where I can give you what the exact is. You know, what you guys saw when somebody limped out was the same thing I saw. So I always have the medical meeting after this, and then I'll know more.